All right, boys. So now we're going to be talking about the pet shop problem. So like I said, number one is quite an easy one to deal with. So let's go down there. Jim bought a cat and a dog for 60 Rand each. Later he sold them. He made a profit of 20% on the dog. He made a loss of 20% on the cat. How much did he get altogether when he sold the cat and dog? So let's scroll over here. And so he bought the cat for 60 Rand. There we go. And he bought the dog for 60 Rand as well. Okay. Now he sold them. And for the dog, he made more money. And for the cat, he made less money. So we need to figure out how much he sold them for. Okay. So we need to get there. Those are the answers. Those lines represent the answers we're looking for. What we need to figure out is how much did he lose and how much did he gain? Now the problem tells us quite straightforward. Let me move across here. That he made 20% more money than what he bought it for. So that means he made the dog, he made plus 20%. Okay. And for the cat, he had minus 20% because he made a 20% loss. All right. So how do we work this out? Well, first things first, let me zoom out a little bit. First things first, we need to take a look at what this 20% means. What this 20% means is if we have a bar, this bar represents the 60 Rand, okay? We divide that bar into equal sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 equal sections. And what that means is this section is 1/5, that section there is 1/5, that section there 1/5, 1/5, and finally 1/5. Now, all of this together equals 5/5, 1 whole. All right. So what we need to do is we need to divide 60 up equally because what I haven't explained is 1/5 is the same as 20%. Because if you add 20% up to 20% to 20% plus 20% plus 20%, you're going to get 100%. So there are 5 20% and 100%. All right. So now what am I saying? If we take this 60 and we divide it up into 5 equal categories, okay, what are we going to have in each category? So if we do that, we can divide it into 5. 60 divided by 5 is 12. So we're going to put 12 in each one. So what that means is 20% is 12. So I can rewrite this. For the dog, he had 60 Rand plus he made 12 Rand more because he made one of these fifths more. So the dog, he got an extra block and that was another 12 Rand. So we add those together. For the dog, he got 72 Rand. For the cat, he had 60 Rand. And instead of gaining another block, he lost one of those blocks we drew up here. Okay, he lost one of the blocks. So for that, we minus the 12. And what that means is he got the cat, sold the cat for 48. So if we go back to our problem, he bought them both for 60. On the dog, he made a 20% profit, which means he got 1/5 more. So we add 12. But for the cat, he lost 12. So we minus 12. And that gives us 72 and 48. And when we add these two together, we get 120. Okay. And that's how much money he made. So your answer to number one is 120. All right, so that's the answer to number one is 120. Now we're going to go to the second one. And like I said, this is where it gets tricky. So let me zoom out. What we're going to say is Jim bought another cat and dog. We don't know how much Jim bought this cat and dog for, okay? But we know that he sold them each for 60. So we're going to do the dog first, okay? So he sold the dog for 60 Rand. And when he sold that dog for 60 Rand, what we're told is he made 20% profit. So 60 Rand is 20% more than he paid for the dog. Another way to think of that is if we go back to what we talked about last time and we say 20% is 50s, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here we have 6/5. We have 6/5. And the reason we have 6/5 is because the amount Jim paid, it's Jim, right? Yeah. The amount Jim paid is 5/5. That's his first payment, okay? But then he made a 20% profit, so he made 1/5 more. So what that means is we take the 60 and we divide it up equally into these 6 blocks. What that will tell us is 5 of those blocks is what he paid for his first in the first time. If we add these 5 up, that's how much he paid when he bought the dog. And when we add all 6 up, we'll get how much he spent in the end. And how much he spent in the end is 60. So you divide 60 into 6 blocks, gives us 10 Rand each. So 20% is 10 Rand. So we know that when he made a 20% profit on the dog, he actually made 10 Rand more. So the dog got him positive 10 Rand. So we'll just write that positive 10 there. All right. So he made positive 10 on the dog. Now we are going to talk about the cat. Okay, now the cat is another story. The cat, when he sold it for 60 Rand, he actually made a loss of 20%. So he paid 20% more for it than he sold it for. So what that means is if we draw those blocks again and we divide them up into 5, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we divide the 60 into each one of those. No, actually, we divide the 60 into 4. Sorry, I'm getting a bit confused there. So what this means is when Jim first bought the cat, he paid for this whole block. That's how much money he paid out. But when he sold the cat again, he only was able to sell it for 4 blocks. It was 20% less. He was missing this last block. So for us to figure out how much money he lost, how much this little block is here, we need to divide the 60 into these 4 blocks. Okay, so 60 divided by 4 is 15. Okay, so 15 Rand in each block. So 20% is 15 Rand. Okay, so what that means is he made 15 Rand less. He lost 15 Rand when he sold the cat. Okay, and the final question is, did he make a profit or a loss on the whole deal? Well, in question 1, he didn't make a profit or a loss. He broke even. So we can ignore question 1. In question 2, he got 10 Rand for the dog, and then he lost 15 Rand for the cat, which means he lost more money than he had, which means he made a loss of 5 Rand, of 5 Rand. So boys, what I'd like you to do now is I would like you to look at what you've answered. If you got the first one right, that's 1 mark. If you got the 10 Rand right, that's 2 marks. If you got the 15 Rand right, that's 3 marks. And if you got loss of 5 Rand, that is 4 marks. So give yourself an answer of 4 out of 4. Good luck.